First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash, and amongst those great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom, and come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of the lesson is Watchman Report. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today, let's have a quick news article here by NPR. And it reads that China launches a military drill surrounding Taiwan. It says China has launched military drills surrounding Taiwan this week. The Democratic Asian island inaugurated a new president who called on China in his inaugural address to cease its political and military intimidation of Taiwan. China Eastern Theater Command says the Air Force, Navy, and infantry will be involved in the war games, which will last until Friday. Said China's state media outlet says the drill were a show of force intended to serve as a strong punishment for the separatist act of Taiwan independence forces. Said a veiled reverence to Taiwan new president Lai Ching-tai, who China has called a dangerous separatist. So we seeing right here that, the war drums are beating. Also, we know that we're very close to that last and final war to end all wars. That is what, World War III. So we seeing that we're very close. And a lot of people, really saying and report that it has already begun, but it's not full circle. And also, we know that the Lord is gathering the nation. We seeing that these things are constantly picking up, escalation behind escalation. So we know right now there's already been rumors, months, last year that, China will invade Taiwan. So we already know once this happened, America already said that they will get involved. So we already know once that happened, we already know that World War III is live. It's live action. We know that these other nations gonna get involved. Also, Russia will be a guard to these nations. Also in the news, Russia began exercise for battlefield nuclear weapons, pointing to Western threats. So we already know that Putin already been threatening NATO, over and over about not entering or getting involved in Ukraine. So and also we know that it was breaking news that NATO has hit one of their radars, that detect what's coming into their airspace, like anything. It could be nuclear, any type of missile. So that's still a developing story. So we're seeing that these things are constantly picking up. We're seeing that things are constantly increasing. It's gradually coming into this time, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. So let's go to this one here. I just mentioned it, but I just quick news article here. So we seeing that, they're constantly preparing. It said Russia began exercise for battlefield nuclear weapons, pointing to Western threats. So we seeing right here, it was May the 21st, so just a couple of days ago, just like the other one. So we seeing that these things are constantly picking up. Let's read a little bit of it. It said Russian troops began practicing a major exercise to ensure troops readiness for the potential deployment of tactical nuclear weapons on the battlefield, as Moscow warned against an encroaching threat from Western allies. So we see it right here. So, hey, man, we already knowing that, that these things are fast approaching. That's why the men of the Lord constantly been reporting, constantly warning you about these things. You're telling you about what? A time of trouble that we've never seen before. We're telling you about war. We're telling you about pestilence. We're telling you about, an evil time. We're telling you about the civil unrest. We're telling you about these UN troops are already in America. These splendor cell or these sleeper cell, We seeing that these things are coming, so all hell is getting ready to break loose, and a lot of people right now, they don't want to listen. We're seeing that, a lot of people are preparing for what you call this Memorial Day. We're not giving a damn about it, getting ready to relax in their leave, barbecuing, being with their family, their loved ones, going fishing, going on cruises, showing no regards what's right before our face, things could escalate at any given time. While you're sleeping, the devil is constantly getting busy. So we seeing that the Lord is constantly moving the chess pieces around. We seeing that we're very close. These things are very prophetic. We're seeing these things is very biblical right now. We're seeing that the end is being manifested right before our eyes. We're constantly rejoicing because we know that our salvation is at the door. So before we start today's lesson, let's get a quick precept. Let's go here. So we seeing that the war drums are beating any given time. All hell can break loose. War is in the air everywhere you look. So we seeing that with Israel and Iran. We seeing what happened with these assassination. This Iranian president. A lot of things just keeps coming one behind another. All sorts of global events constantly happen at a fast pace. So let's read this here. Book of Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8 said, the prophet that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So that's exactly what the prophets are doing right now. The watchmen of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh constantly warning you of a war, warning you of an evil time, Jacob trouble, the hour of temptation. Also warning you about these pestilence. Already telling you about this bird flu. All sorts of different pandemics, coming down the pipeline. Also, they tell you about could be a climate change crisis. So a lot of things are coming. So we already know that we approaching that digital society. So the prophet, the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. If you prophesy in Bible time, you're prophesying right now, so it's no new thing under the sun. So we constantly warn you left and right. In that day, they shall know that a prophet was among them. Verse 9. It's a prophet which prophesied of peace when the word of the prophet shall come to pass. Said, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him. So that's what's getting ready to happen. So all these prophecies coming to pass are coming to full fruition. They're coming true. And out about it, a lot of people right now, they still are still in disbelief. But one thing about it though, when Jacob's trouble start, a lot of people are getting ready to get their mind right. And one thing about it, the body count is getting ready to be great. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Watchman Report. China launches military drills around Taiwan. So let's start a day video. I have, I think, two, and we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
A major military escalation is underway between China and Taiwan. Let's find out why. No shots have been fired, but in 2 days of military drills, the Chinese military has encircled the island. And Taiwan has mobilized its military. China says the war games are to test its ability to seize power, sending its navy, fighter jets, and the Coast Guard close to Taiwan. It says it's punishing the island for statements made by its new president, Lai Ching-te. He said Taiwan and China are not subordinate to each other. He was only inaugurated on Monday. China called the statement ugly and disgraceful. China has vowed to unify Taiwan with the mainland. It regards it as a breakaway province. But Taiwan is trying to maintain the status quo. Things haven't looked this tense in the Taiwan Strait in almost 2 years.
Last night, news broke that China had prepared military drills to surround the island nation of Taiwan. Now, for those that aren't familiar, Taiwan claims to be the official government of China. But of course, there was this thing called the Communist Revolution, and the actual government of China was forced onto the island of Taiwan. Since then, it's been a standoff. The Chinese Communist Party wants to reunify, they call it, and of course, Taiwan resists. The U.S. is aligned with Taiwan and is actively defending Taiwan. And we have here in this image, breaking news from this morning, it's an alleged image of Taiwanese Coast Guard ship near the Chinese naval ship during the Chinese PLA drills around Taiwan at the moment. And there is concern this could escalate into full-scale conflict at any moment. But to be fair, my friends, I think this could literally escalate into full-scale conflict at any moment, regardless of whether or not China is doing drills. It's just, well, they're getting closer and closer to that conflict erupting. China, of course, has been flying jets in and around, over Taiwan. I don't know about over, but in their airspace. And of course, this has had many on edge, as if Taiwan, if they are to fight back, push back, actually engage in a physical confrontation with China, the U.S. would likely get involved, and there is no doubt that is World War III. Now, depending on which source you read.
So we seeing right there, things could escalate. We're going to measure the time diligently. We seeing that we are very close, that this could be a full-scale war of all wars, which in fact is what World War III. So we'll start today's lesson. We'll start here. Let's start here in Ezekiel chapter 38. Just quick random scriptures. Let's see here. Ezekiel chapter 38. Ezekiel chapter 38. And I start up at verse 11. So this is exactly what's going to happen, So we already knowing that Taiwan, I think they make those, I'm not mistaken, super conductors, super collider conductors. Also, they make those deals for your cell phone, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a very important. Taiwan is very important to the U.S. And out about it, we already knowing that they constantly want to be the hammer of the whole earth, constantly going in people's countries, trying to set up their own puppet government, also getting their resources. So we already know if America is involved, you already know what is going on. So we see it right there. So we know that if China go into Taiwan, we know this is automatic World War III, and also we know that Russia will get involved, and also these neighboring nations also, so they shall burn the oil. Revelation chapter 17. So we get very close to these times, so it's going to happen all of a sudden. So they already have these UN troops in place already. So hey, the stage is set. The plan is already in place. So Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 11 said, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled village, and I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So we see it right here, the unwalled village is talking about America, Babylon the Great. And one thing about it, a lot of people right now are dwelling safely. This place, you can go from the west to the east. There is no walls, no boundaries. You can go from the north to the south. There's no boundary. Just like this border crisis. I pretty much think that they have their number now. So we already knowing that all sorts of chaos is getting ready to break out. So a lot of people right now getting ready for what? This Memorial Day cookout, eating and drinking in a house of mirth. And one thing about it, you need to be in a house of mourning, constantly watching and praying, being circumspect, because we're living in the end time, real time, even though it will sound like a broken record, but these are the time that we're living in. So all of a sudden, just like, like people out relaxing in their lead, all of a sudden these UN troops start, all kind of hell go to break, come overnight a war zone, so we already know that these things is getting ready, it's fast approach, so it's more tense, tension, tensions is rising every time, when you look around every day, things are constantly picking up, so these prophecies are picking up left and right. So let's read this once again. Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 11 said, thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, America, and I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. So, a lot of our people right now are dwelling very safely. They're at rest, relaxing in their lead, still thinking that they're a good case, not seeing the signs of the time, not paying no type of attention. You know, look with Russia getting ready for war. You know, they constantly saying that the threats from the West. You already know the West is what NATO, and also it's talking about what America. So these things are constantly picking up. A lot of people say, oh, we're not gonna get attacked. We're gonna be just fine. We're the nation police. We have the best military. Well, we're getting ready to find out. So one thing about it ain't what the Bible said. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. And a lot of people, our people, are very spoiled, very out of shape. They just just docile. Constantly watching what is this NBA finals. They just going on with their daily lives. All of a sudden, what I'm saying, it's coming upon us, fast approach. World War III is at the door. Verse 12, it said, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places, said that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. So right now we already know that China and Russia in collaboration with these other nations, you know what I'm saying? And also NATO and the EU is getting ready to storm America very soon. And also these sleeper cells. So, hey, man, we already know that, America is getting ready to be totally taken over. And also we know we coming upon this digital society and also that grain of rice. And one thing about it, we're going to constantly warn you left and right until the Lord bring forth the famine of the word. We know that these things are fast approaching, man. We are here. It is at the door. So let's go here. Let's go to Let's go to Mark. Mark chapter. Let's go here to Mark chapter. Let's see. Mark chapter 13. Let's get here because we're hearing these rumors of war. Let's get this one right quick. Salakia. Mark chapter 13. And I think it's around verse 7, what I want. It says here, Mark chapter 13 and verse 7, it said, and when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war, be ye not terrified, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. So we know right now these things must come to pass. The rumors of wars all the place. We seeing all sorts of things that happen, one behind another, but we at the beginning of sorrow. So we know that we're very close to, to this great time of trouble that we've never seen before. Verse 8, it said, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. So that's where we at right now, the beginning of sorrows, great tribulation, great persecution, death, and destruction as fast as approaching. We already know nations are rising against nations, and also we know a lot of nations are divided. We're seeing it right now. A lot of things that have earthquakes, and also all these different strange weather patterns that's coming through. The Lord is visiting the earth that He created, so these things are constantly picking up. Tensions is rising. We're almost at that boiling point. We already know that World War III once again is at the door. We constantly warn you left and right. These things can pop off at any given time. So I went to Ezekiel 38. People, right now they relax, unwall. They feel like they're safe. And this place is, people just coming in straight over the border. Just like clockwork. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, we here, man. And so a lot of our people right now are still asleep. They're not paying no type attention to signs of the time. And one thing about it, the Lord has gave them the spirit of deep sleep. The election hesitated and the rest was blinded. Romans chapter 11 verse 7. So let's go here. Let's go to Joel, because this is constantly coming together left and right. The Lord is making it happen. So let's go here. This is exactly what's happening here. Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. And it reads, it said, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Said, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So that's exactly what's happening. These Gentiles are raging right now. You know what I'm saying? These heathens are raging. And one thing about it, they're preparing for war. Ukraine, Russia, Israel and Hamas, Iran. These things are constantly picking up. Also, Russia is preparing for war with NATO. Also with the West, America. Hey, man, it's getting ready to go down. We constantly warning you left and right. The Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Lord is setting the stage, getting things ready. We see it right now. Hey, proclaim this. Let's read it once again. But proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. That's exactly what is happening. He said right here, verse 10, he said, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spear. Let the weak say, I am strong. So these nations right now rising up, the war drums are beating, or, the rumors of wars is in the air. That is the main, topic right now. It's hot off the press. We seeing it right before our war is in the air and war is coming. We seeing it. Verse 11 said, assemble yourself and come, all ye heathens, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Said, call thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Verse 12, it said, let the heathens be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So Lord's getting ready to judge this place. You know what I'm saying? He's getting ready to judge all these heathen round about. The Lord's going to show up in the midst of World War III along with with the angels. You know what I'm saying? Amen. The Lord's going to show up with great glory and great power, with that fathership. He's getting ready to block out the sky. He's coming from the east to the west. So we already know that with the mighty ones, you know what I'm saying? With those angels, those death angels, they's coming, getting ready to lay this place down. The Lord's getting ready to set that righteous order. The kingdom of heaven is fast approach. This is exactly what's happening. The Lord is lining it up just like clockwork, and also we know that Israel will be nuked, but it will be rebuilt back up, and America will be totally destroyed. America will be the lake of fire, that second death. There will be no inhabitant left here. If you're not getting beamed up, you're getting burnt up. So let's read this once again. Verse 12 said, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. That's what we're looking like, just like clockwork. Verse 13 said, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Said, come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Amen. We see it right now. Hey, it is here. The harvest is right. He's talking about what? That harvest is talking about what? The end time. We here, man. We the end of the world, baby. We constantly warn you. Verse 14 said, multitudes and multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near, in the valley of decision. So that's what the Lord is constantly bringing forth. We're seeing it little by little. The Lord's constantly moving those pieces, putting them into play. We're seeing that things is lining up just like clockwork. We already know, it's a lot of military buildup over there in the so-called Middle East. We already know that, we have right there in the Persian Gulf, in the Straits of Hormuz, all those warships, we got what? We got Russia there, Russia warship, Iranian warship, China warship, also American warship, and also Great Britain, and probably some others there also, and also in the Red Sea, the hinder part, amen. But the Lord is, amen, he's setting the stage at what Joel chapter 2, he's constantly moving the northern army far from their borders. We're seeing that's happening. So the Lord is laying the stage. And also right here in America, Babylon the Great, the Lord is setting up the ambushes, the UN troops. It's constantly talks about that, that it could be a possible civil unrest. We already know that civil war is coming. It's going to be Egyptian against Egyptian. So we know that these times are fast approach. So let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 11. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. We'll close out here because this is exactly where we at. Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. The second woe is past, talking about what? World War II. And behold, the third woe come quickly. World War III, the last and final war, right before what? The great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. This is the war that will end all wars. There won't be no more wars behind this. The Lord is getting ready to return. The Lord is getting ready to destroy all these heathen nations, and also starting with his own house first. The Lord said, first my judgment will start at the house of Israel. You wicked Negroes, you wicked Latinos, you wicked Native Indians, the one that has eyes but cannot see, the one that has ears but cannot hear. But one thing about it, when Jacob's trouble started and World War III started, and also the hour of temptation, you're getting ready to get your mind right. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is Watchman Report. China launches military drills around Taiwan. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom. Shalom.